Oh, fucking baby. It is big balls bulls time. It is fucking Monday, a glorious day for Bitcoin bullahs out there, as we do see the continuation move that we spoke about from yesterday, and plenty to discuss today in all time frames of all shapes and sizes. Join the fucking cult, as one of our friends says over here. That's right, baby. Drink the Kool-Aid, and god damn it, man, that is exactly what I do not want this place to be. No. All jokes aside, I want to welcome you back to Krown's Crypto Cave, the not gold cave, which is absolutely hilarious, by the way. But you know what? With that said, I would like to wish you and everyone else here, and everyone here, and you especially, a happy and healthy start to this nice little week, because there is plenty of opportunity to be had. And the moons once again, we have been out, or I've been out traded by the witches. Anyways, I actually made a small account, a very, very small account that I did just to trade the moon cycles, just to fucking see, because I need to see proof, not promises. And hilariously enough, well, you already know the goddamn results. Very, very powerful stuff, I suppose. But I suspect that there's other things in there as well. It must be some confounding variables. else. I just can't accept that the goddamn moons are behind this all. No, it's not Amazon. Amazon is a bunch of bullshit. Anyways, I do want to address that situation actually with Amazon, because a lot of people are getting very, very hyped up with Amazon potentially getting into or accepting Bitcoin as payments, maybe even other cryptocurrencies as well. And perhaps that does actually go through. We don't actually know. These sort of rumor type things, I think, are kind of they're kind of like a double-edged sword at the end of the day. And realistically, when it comes to these sort of things, it's very similar to like the Elon news, both getting in and out of Bitcoin. And most importantly, with that, what does it essentially entail? It essentially entails that if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And realistically, you want the asset to kind of stand on its own. But we have a bit of a nice little reversal right now. So let's just disregard all of that more intellectual talk or what stands of it, and most importantly, get into the actual charts right now, as we do look at the Krown chain application, which we found at app.krown.net. Actually, before we get into that, I do want to highlight this right here. So if you're familiar with the liquidity zone, which is kind of like our friends, our partners, I suppose, our partners who basically focus on traditional markets, they're actually going to be releasing, I believe, a free article tomorrow on their newsletter, which they have hosted on our application, and they're going to be going over a really big event that's happening this week. That's going to be the FOMC meeting, and as you can see right here, a little bit of a preview for it, because it is absolutely hilarious and a great little image right there with Jerome Powell smashing into fucking earth. Oh my god, man. What we'll be watching out for is exactly right. So keep that in mind. We do have some big events coming in this week. I think earnings reports for some companies are also coming up either this week or next week as well, and that should be something to watch out for, let's say. So keep an eye on them. Also, they do their live streams each and every day, I do believe, for traditional markets specifically, and you can go check them out at the liquidity zone once again. So with that in mind, let's go back into the application over here, see what we got going on. By the way, you can find the Krown chain application for free in the link in the description below. And oh man, I'm looking at these comments are great right now. Absolutely fucking great. It is science, occult science. I love it, man. Whatever. Hey, look, you don't need to explain to me why something's gonna work. I just care if it works. That's actually what I subscribe to at the end of the day. Like, look, man, I understand that there's some very in-depth and logical explanations for all sorts of indicators of all sorts of shapes and sizes. At the end of the day, though, I think that there's just too many confounding variables within general trading, within markets, that you can't really be reliant on anything or fully account for all nuanced situations that are potential to happen. I mean, it's no secret that it's always a non-zero probability that a 10 sigma event can happen at any given moment in time. So with that in mind, I do suspect that, or at least for myself on this channel, it's always about results, not necessarily about like, this indicator is the one indicator rule them all because of X, Y, and Z reasons. Like, that's great, that's cool, but unfortunately, at the end of the day, you're only measured by your P&L, of course. Anyways, with that said, let's see what we got going on over here in the Krown chain application, which is a sea of green at the top end dashboard right here. Everything is up as you would expect, led by the Bitcoin, actually more or less led by Ethereum as far as the majors go. We do see, or actually, let me turn off the alerts for right now. We'll get to the comments soon enough, of course, but most importantly right now, we do see Bitcoin dominance actually still kind of holding its levels. I still do look at this as in a general uptrend, which is more or less good for potential continuation, as we would expect Bitcoin to mostly soak up altcoin Bitcoin parents. Maybe not all of them, of course, there will be some outliers, namely Ethereum, in fact, and perhaps the ones that are related to Ethereum, but we also do see that the fear and greed index is at one of its highest levels that we have seen in about the last month or so as well, which is rather interesting because it is still heavily fearful right here. And I mean, it is a 27, and realistically, we need to go into the market data tab now to kind of follow up on some of the things that we spoke about from yesterday, of which a big one, global funny rate. Once again, the global fucking funny rate is not just negative, it's more negative than what we saw over the past few days when Bitcoin was putting in, that bear trap that we confirmed, I believe, at the middle point of last week. A very, very powerful bear trap, and one of the ones that I've actually felt pretty damn good about calling on this channel as we did kind of prepare for that sort of situation. And now we're kind of seeing the results of this. This one happened a little bit more fast than what I would have expected, but at the end of the day, expectations are... I was almost going to say, no, they are meaningless expectations. It's all about results, sirs and zers. Anyways, on top of that, we did see that global open interest did take another leg up as well. So we did see that follow through actually 2 days ago when we did see it take out what we saw, I believe, on midpoint of June. I think around June 16th, we saw the highs right around about 4.75 billion, that is. Now we saw that open interest actually led price action after that bear trap did indeed happen, and then that was giving us the bias that this very likely did have a little bit more legs in line with this as well. And we also even see global exchanges net flows is negative, so people are taking their coins off exchanges, insinuating a very small amount of accumulation, but accumulation nonetheless. Anyways, over here into the fourth data tab, I do want to highlight this once again. The whale ratio yesterday actually did drop off pretty damn heftily. It is popping back up a slight amount today, but overall, we actually do see our first downtrend on the whale ratio. For the first time in a while, we do see a slew of lower highs right here, and then our first major lower low right here. So I do look at this as more or less a, somewhat good thing over a long period of time, kind of just, well, maybe there's more important things to be looking at, but that would be further supporting that this rally very likely does have legs overall, maybe over the next week or two. Anyways, on top of that, we do see that the hash rate actually having a bit of a bounce there too, so we should check out the hash ribbons indicator today. And with that in mind, let's get into the charts right here, right now. Should I follow up on my positions? Yeah, for sure. Why not follow up on the positions right here? I am still holding my long on my testnet account. Again, this is not real money. This is not real trading. This is simply a testnet account. And what do we see? Well, we do see that, well, this position is working rather well. So there you go. I'll be holding that for the time being. And I don't really have any major reasons to let go of that based off of the analysis that we did at the end of last week, actually. And well, we'll just see where this one brings us to. Anyways, let's go into the charts now. And we'll start off with CME today, because there's a lot of things to talk about with CME, and then actually we'll be focusing on Ethereum as well, just because Ethereum is significantly more easy right now, in my opinion. Anyways, with Bitcoin on CME, we have that classic play that I always love to call out, kind of a little bit less so in this sense right here, but this one does speak rather largely as well. And what did you see right here? We saw the green 55 and the purple 200 converging on each other rather rapidly. Ever since when? Ever since Bitcoin did dump off from our $50,000, $60,000 highs right here, hinting at what is called a death cross, or just typically something that is more in line with like a metal band name. But more importantly with this, what did we see as these were getting very, very close? We saw that same sort of bait and switch that I love to call out, because a lot of the time, more often than not, it's a more powerful signal than the signal itself if it actually does get confirmed, in this case an actual an actual death cross. And by the way, this is why I was not calling out the death cross on spot price action. Just doesn't really have good results with it. On CME, a lot better results, and in this case right here, we do see this pop back above the 55 today, which is going to be closing in 15 hours and 51 minutes, so it does have a long term to go. But assuming that we close anywhere above the 55, which is 37,500 or so, then I would be looking for general continuation, past 40,000 bucks, probably up to 45,000 bucks. Maybe fill the gap over here on CME coming in from our May dumps from 14th to 15th of May, right around there. So that would be my overall disposition, probably over the next, month or so, whatever it ends up being. But make no mistake about it, just like over here, it wasn't really super wise to be getting like super bearish, looking for like the actual breakdown to those crazier levels like 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, whatever the fuck it was. I don't think it's going to be too damn wise to be getting super bullish over here as well. Realistically, I still do think that this market is rather range bound at best, and realistically, I do think that while Bitcoin very likely does have some more upside here based off that, or potentially based off this next closure, which I think will actually happen. I mean, this price action is pretty damn telling right here. Then I'd be looking for a rally back around here, come back down, and then if the bulls are going to take over, put in a higher low, maybe even around this last little gap that we created over this past weekend from Friday closure at about mid to low $30,000 territory, and then dig it out from there. That's essentially what I'd be looking for if this is going to prove to be a macro low in the making. And there actually is several other things that do somewhat support this, or at least open up the opportunity for it. But for right now, should also look at momentum oscillators. What do we see on Friday? We are actually not on Friday, but a couple days before that, we did confirm bullish evidence coming off the lows. Some phantom div right there, looking good. Even the daily jewel. More importantly, on, of course, spot price action. We did call this out. We got our first cyan coming on the 21st of July right here. And then even more important, we saw a signal that we haven't seen in months, actually, with the autofib turning green. So supporting that signal as well. And realistically, we haven't seen that in conjunction with each other since February, March, April. And we haven't seen it, coming from this low of a level since, way the fuck back on over here in October 2020, in fact. So a lot of things to be aware of right now. And realistically, while Bitcoin is, somewhat being held back by the 200 exponential average right here on the daily for spot price action, I do look at this as, a nice basing area. And can Bitcoin come down short term? Yes, absolutely. In fact, I wouldn't be too fussed at all. And in fact, I'd rather like it if Bitcoin did come back down somewhere around about 36,000 to 36,500-ish region. Basically, our last sort of midpoint highs coming in from late June, actually, before this little breakdown right here. That would be, at least in my opinion, on the short and medium term timeframes, a basing point. So Bitcoin's had a nice little rally right here. Can we afford a pullback? Yes, absolutely. In fact, that would be rather healthy. However, I would not be necessarily looking for a full-on pullback And I'd actually lower this a little bit right here until we actually do see a 2-hour, or I'd actually use a 4-hour closure in this case, just because things are, rather volatile right now, relatively speaking, as compared to like the last month or so. As long as we're above about 37,900 or so. If Bitcoin does lose that level right there, yes, I would look for it to retest that level again, down around about 36 to 36.5. But I would be looking at the very least for a bounce there, very likely a higher low set in right around there, because this has just been mostly just one nuke to the upside as it stands right now. Anyways, let's go check out the secondary charts over here, which we actually haven't been looking at as of recent times that often, just because, well, Bitcoin hasn't really been like in a major trending mode just yet. And guess what we have right here? A couple of very important things. First and foremost, Bitcoin obviously above the 55 right here. That is good for a potential reversal on the more higher term timeframes in this case. And then also we're gonna have our first chance to close above the topside trend band for the first time in a very long time. Actually, we had a very one-off right here. In fact, that barely even counts. Realistically, it wasn't since Bitcoin was actually like literally trending to the upside in this more parabolic move over the past like half year to 8 months now. Anyways, if we do close anywhere above this, which currently speaking is about 36,500, that's really interesting because that does line up with our short-term time frame bouncy and probably even higher low areas. I would be looking at that as first and foremost an opportunity for Bitcoin to retest there and very likely continue from that region over the next week or two, whatever it ends up being. Again, I don't really think that time analysis can do it, but can time analysis do it? No. Can moon analysis do it? Maybe. We actually did confirm the fucking bull moon a couple days ago, which is absolutely hilarious. Further kind of supporting that. I still cannot intellectually handle that. Not that I'm an intellectual person myself, but fucking hilarious, man. Out traded by a goddamn witch. In fact, I think I'm just going to leave all this tea leaf reading in the past, and it's now time to study astrology, because why the fuck not? Anyways, what else do we have that we should follow up on from the last couple days here? Yes, yet again, we do have actually a very good 2-day jewel signal right there, but more importantly, or actually a little bit more confirmed, would be the 1, 2, 3 drives of bullish evidence coming off the 2-day, and then the 3-day, same sort of thing as well, of which we did smash both of those targets. So all targets of that, all easy targets of that have been met. And while I do think that Bitcoin generally will have continuation from here after maybe a short-term time frame pullback to 36 or 36.5, then I would be looking for Bitcoin very likely to put in that rally somewhere around about 46.5, maybe even a little bit deeper than that, fulfill the gap on CME, as we did talk about earlier. On top of that, we do see that the Gaussian channel right here as well on the daily, more importantly, has been absolutely shattered. We haven't necessarily closed above the median point just yet, but assuming that we do, I would look for at the very least a run towards the top side of it. We could already argue that we've already had it, and then if Bitcoin does close above it, that's going to very likely, at least for myself, insinuate that next move up into the mid, maybe even deep $40,000 territory. But again, the same sort of things that we've been speaking about for the last month or so, while they haven't been as relevant to the current structure, I believe now that they will be. So I do still think that there is strong likelihood, whether bullish or bearish, that Bitcoin will get a bull trap somewhere in the mid $40,000 territory, maybe even the deep $40,000 territory. And then after that, we find out if this is actually going to be a macro low or not. The 3 things that I'm looking for on a macro low are still yet to be had. In fact, if we go over here to our hash Sherman's indicator, we do see a slight amount of convergence right here, an ever so slight amount of convergence actually, but still no blue buy signal. And we have never, ever seen actually Bitcoin make new all-time highs after having a major reversal, a major downside move, without printing a blue buy signal on top of that. In fact, if we go back, we can just backtest this ourselves right here, but more importantly, on top of that, and what I'd trust a lot more in actually, is that if we do get a blue buy signal, it is extremely likely that we actually do have a major low and maybe even a macro low, because all of the other times that we have gotten a blue buy signal, all 11 of them, except for one, which is actually right here, in fact, coming off of this one right here, have essentially marked that the prior low leading into that signal was the macro low before general continuation of new all-time highs and, never retesting that level of again. So that is, again, that is 10 out of 11 right there. It doesn't mean that it's infallible. Again, 10 sigma events can happen, of course, but that is more or less a good signal as it is right now. We do see that daily MACD obviously getting above the, or almost above the zero read, or getting very, very close to the zero read for the first time in a long time as well. This is going all the way back to April, May, in fact, as well. Somewhat good, but I do just more or less favor other things. So we do have a bunch of fundamental things kind of coming in with this, and then also technicals as well lining up with each other. So this is, I do think that this rally has legs. I don't think that this is is another trap right here. I think if you're going to trap, it's, you know, it's very likely to move higher first. Anyways, on top of that, we did discuss the hash rate indicator right here. That would be the first thing that I'd look for in order to confirm a macro low. The next thing we also don't have as well. Do we have a daily high or low? No, not yet. In fact, the daily has, well, it's no longer a downtrend anymore because we do have, we don't necessarily have lower highs. But we do still have lower lows, of course. So it is essentially in the midst of changing up. And if you are looking at this from a moving average perspective, you do look at the 21 and 55 right here as very likely suggesting that we are going to see at the very least a medium term reversal, which does imply further continuation into that $40,000 territory. And if we start to see them cross the upside, that's going to look pretty damn good for maybe even a full on reversal on top of that. But at some point, Bitcoin will come back down and it will set in, or at least attempt to set in, a higher low. And that's at the point where we're really going to find out if this is real or not. So I'm very much open to the possibilities. We've been saying on this channel very consistently that, hey, whether you're bullish or if you are bullish, you're very much looking for a mostly sideways market between about 30,000 and 45,000 bucks for the next basically all of summer. And that so far has been pretty damn on point, if I do say so myself. Again, not saying these things to toot my own horn, but just so that you can see that after a very, very volatile move like this to the downside, it's very likely, whether you're bullish or bearish, you're gonna spend a lot of time, you know, consolidating, going sideways. And in this case right here, we do have a lot of, you know, we do have a lot of market structure things kind of lining up with essentially, again, a bit of a bear trap right there on low volume, and then pop it back up, open interest starts to support, funding rate starts to support, and then we do just see a general uptrend formulate itself on the short and medium term time frame, supported by momentum oscillators, and then we have a bit of a short squeeze going on to the upside as well. In fact, if we actually do look at I think we can look at short liquidations over here. It's probably gonna be pretty damn big, as you can see. Actually, no, it hasn't populated itself just yet. I think that will be on lagging one day right there. We will offer up 1 hour refreshing at some point, but we need to dial everything in first before we can offer that. Anyways, on top of that, we do see that volatility finally expanding from these very, 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 very low levels. We see a very similar read here to what we saw back in March 2020 as well. As you can see, we did hit 100 percentile on the downside move, similar to what you saw over here, March 2020. Again, coronavirus dumb times, telling you that it's an extreme event. And then it takes about 2-3 months trending all the way down right here. Same thing, all the way down right here. And then what do you know, after reaching around 1 percentile, then we do see expansion, and the moving average now very aggressively moved to the upside as well. So that does suggest that this, you know, very likely is going to continue from here. We're actually above 50 percentile right now too. Oh, what's up, Mr. Derek M? I see you over there, man. I see you over there. Yeah, man. I've been seeing the Binance wicks there too. That is insane. But that's also just yet again another reason why you should avoid Binance like the fucking plague. It's Jesus Christ, man. Just nasty, man. Absolutely fucking nasty. What else do I want to show you? Maybe I have a new thing over here. Let me just see where it is. Yes. Okay. So I want to show this as well. Okay, so this is an indicator idea that I came up with just last night, actually. I sent it to Caretaker, and he basically made it in like what seemed like light speed, because, well, Caretaker is just great. Anyways, so what have I done here? I basically wanted an indicator that would tell you in like an indexed format how far away price action is from a certain moving average in this case. And in this case, let me actually see what I'm running right here. I'm running a 200 SMA actually on the daily. Funnily enough, you can see, as I've documented with this horizontal line right here, you can see that Bitcoin has put in many macro lows actually on the daily specifically. Whenever we get around this horizontal line, and as you can see right here, while we didn't necessarily we actually did not get exactly down to it, we got around it. That would be a somewhat good signature, suggesting that perhaps we actually do have somewhat of at least a major low and potentially a macro low as well. Potentially, I do think that it's still potential right there. If we go over to the weekly, I also wanted to look at this one as well. We can do this on let's do this on the 21 in this case. Just want to see what this would look like right there. And what do you know? Yeah, same thing actually. Very, 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 very close there. And we have found several lows within this region as well in the past. I mean, we're talking about this low right here. That was indeed a bull trap though, but did produce a nice upside move in between there. Major macro low right there, major low right there, macro low right there, macro low right there. So all of that, does start to make me consider that possibility a little bit more. There's going to be many other ways to be looking at this as well. We actually even put it into a percentile function as well. So that will be pretty damn interesting to kind of play around with, but this is relatively new for myself. So it'll take some time to kind of swing back around on that and like come up with my full thoughts on it. But just wanted to present it very, very quickly right there, just because I did think that it's rather interesting. Anyways, go to our momentum charts. Where are they? Where are they? Let me see. There we go. And let's see what we got going on the weekly. Oh, what's this? Weekly Stokes popping up for the first time in, In about how far away was April? Almost 4 months ago, actually. So it's been almost 4 months right here. And they will remain to the upside as long as you're above 34,100, which is above that 36,000 or 36,500 pivot that we did discuss earlier. So that is, somewhat protected. And I do look at that as, somewhat good. And then on top of that, we have seen that Bitcoin has put in, some decent lows within this region. Not necessarily always. As you can see right here, October 19 did provide a bounce. That bounce was rejected. And of course, that was the rest of your 6,000 to 3,000 dump right there. And we do see a few other iterations where, coming in from this region right here, you're typically looking for, at the very least, a bounce first, and then you come back to it after that. On top of that, we see the 5-day also crossing up for the first time in a long time as well. Will remain to the upside as long as above 31.8, and I believe the 3-day is closing tonight. Yes, indeed it is. It's going to have its first chance to actually cross the upside in line with all the other timeframes as well, and that will be maintained as long as we're above 33,400 or so. And this would also be a confirmed rejection of the bearish control zone as well. So I would be looking at this as, generally speaking, to beget continuation above this prior high right here. Now I want to go into Ethereum right now, because Ethereum I actually do think is a lot more easy to read. Ethereum did something incredibly important yesterday, and I don't know what else can I do to beat the drums of Ethereum right now. And Ethereum also has its fundamental event coming up on August 4th as well, with EIP 1559, which is essentially going to reduce, I guess, the potential selling pressure on this asset. Anyways, what we should do right now is we should actually go over to Ethereum and just look at it. Hey, what's this on the week? What the fuck is that? Hey, what the fuck is that? That's a weekly bullish engulfing dildo. Holy shit, these big bald bulls are going crazy right now. And do we even have some hidden bullish divergence on top of that? We do. Some phantom div also showing itself. So yes, I would be looking for this to retest around the 24, 20-ish high or so region. Probably a short-term pullback from there, and then very likely continuation to the prior highs that we saw in May, actually, which was just below 3,000 bucks. Anywhere between about 27 to 2,900 is where I'd be looking towards. Potential continuation after that, but I would be expecting a bit of a pullback from there, consolidation at the very least. Monthly is on long scale, the monthly doesn't look that bad actually in its current format. I don't it's still got a few days left to go here, but hey, that ain't too bad right there. We also got a bi-weekly closing a little bit later this week, in fact, as well. And that would look extremely good if we even just traded above this bi-weekly high, which is actually even below 2,400 as well. So yes, a lot of things kind of aligning with each other. And do we have any other signals going on this one? No, we already looked at the weekly, but what about the monthly? No, we do not. What about the 5-day? Yeah, same sort of signals right here. In fact, the 5-day is a little bit more obvious in this case. A bunch of drives of hidden bullish evidence in this case. A lot of them actually phantom drives, but these ones have been working incredibly well. And you have the same sort of setup right here too. Bit of a bear trap right on a major moving average, and then pop back up. We even see this supported, I believe, by daily jewel action as well. Yeah, this one actually led into Bitcoin, in fact, giving us a signal a little bit earlier on expanding volatility as well, which is more or less good. Daily RSI reaching for the bullish control zone for the first time since May, actually. So this is rather a big deal. Now, I would be expecting the first sort of test into this region to very likely get rejected, find its footing around the exponential, and then perhaps give another move up. So we very likely do see a little bit of a pullback, somewhat soon. But ultimately, if we do take out this prior high right here, either on a closing basis or a wick basis, would be 2409.06. This is on Stamp, I believe. Yeah, sorry, no, this is on Finex. Or a closing high would be above 2330 or so, then yes, I would be looking for a move all the way up somewhere around this high right here. In fact, I think I already have it charted out. Yes, indeed I do. And then I'd be looking for a pullback there, very likely base around this prior high, and then give that continuation move higher. And I think, again, Ethereum's chart is just infinitely more easy than Bitcoin right now. I mean, this one kind of speaks for itself. Whenever you see a bullish engulfing like that, it's very likely to get continuation on top of that, especially when it's above all major moving averages in this case, and they're all still upwardsly sloped. So this is looking good for continuation. Again, I'm not calling a full-on bull market from here. I think that is just as ridiculous as the people calling for like a full-on, $15,000, $20,000, or I even saw $10,000 targets as well to the downside when Bitcoin was, right in this region right here. We're still in a range-bound market overall, but I do think that the bulls obviously have the balls in their court right now, and we'll find out probably over the next couple of months, which direction this market actually wants to go. I still don't think it's time to get excited either which way, to be quite honest with you. Is there anything else that I want to get into before we talk, or sorry, before we look at the comments? Derek M says Krown's hair is a hologram. Early software. That's right, man. It is a deep fake hair. That's right, man. I'm going to be able to just Photoshop on a nice wig onto my face soon enough, and then all good. don't have to deal with these mean hair comments anymore, which absolutely ruin my fucking self-esteem. Anyways, do you want to check out anything else right now? Oh, what do you know? Traditional marks making new all-time highs. That's crazy. What did we say on Friday? If Nasdaq closes as a bullish engulfing, we're going to see new all-time highs. Yeah, we already saw that. So I'd still be looking a little bit higher. Do I have my next targets on this one? Yeah, I do. Next targets are going to be somewhere around 15.5 and then 15.8 region respectively, and then I'll probably be looking for a pullback off that one. Same thing with SPY as well. In fact, I think I have the same sort of extensions done here as well, and I do. Holy shit, man, that is crazy. Short term probably does pull back a little bit. Yeah, short term wouldn't mind a little bit of a pullback down to like 43.80 or so. If things really get crazy, maybe around 43.65. But ultimately this week, I would be looking for further continuation. Oh, that's the other thing that I forgot to mention. Oh man, this one rather powerful as well. I did this one on the on CME chart. This one's still working, funnily enough. Jesus Christ, man, that is silliness. That is absolute silliness. Anyways, you have a very similar setup right here to what you have right here, actually, with the way that the mark kind of, I don't know, what do you call this? It's technically not an island top nor an island bottom right here, but it is a very obvious reversal, right? You see this rejection right here, closes and then opens lower. That's, you know, typically trading with confidence in that direction. You see actually the same thing over here too. You know, we close right here, opens up on a gap. We're very likely going to see continuation on top of that. And then, well, I'd be looking at the 21 to kind of be a basing point long term. Anyways, with that said, I think it is time to maybe get into some chatties here. Let me turn on the alerts. Actually, let's go through the lower term time frame momentum also, because I imagine that the 4 I was like absolutely fucking cooked right here. Yeah, it is 39,100 or so for keeping 4 momentum also to the upside. So basically, it's saying, at very best, we probably do trade sideways here. Hourly, what are we looking at? Yeah, same sort of thing as well, 39,600 or so. So I do think that there's a good chance that short-term Bitcoin probably does trade up a little bit lower, somewhere around 36.5 or so, give or take $500 from there, which is rather large. But we are looking at a little bit more volatility coming into this market, and then I'd be looking for a higher low there. I strongly believe that Bitcoin will continue on from here. Should we talk about bull trap scenarios though, or why I think there's going to be a bull trap, or should we just ignore that for right now? Yeah, let's just ignore it for right now. It's Big Boolah's balls time, my friends. Big Boolah's balls. All right, let's go check out what the comments are saying. Oh my God, there's already a shit ton of comments. What the hell? Danch Vancouver says, "Dear Krown, hello, dear Vancouver. Please start the stream with your ultimate Boolah Jesus prayer. We need to mark this as a macro bottom." I'm not confident to call this a macro bottom just yet. I think it's possible. I think it's potential, absolutely. But we still have a long ways to go. Again, I think it's very likely to look something like this. We're gonna pop up here, come back down, set in a macro higher low right there. That's where I actually start to look and hold on to very long-term positions. Again, this is coming from someone who has a testnet account, who is also long on that testnet account, for better or worse right here. And I don't really have any intentions to close this position anytime soon. Anyways, swinging back on over here, Donnie Balling says, "This is the closest I've felt to joining the cult." Oh dear Lord, that is terrifying. All jokes aside, that's my biggest fear. We do not want this to ever turn into that. We want free thinkers, man. We want free thinkers coming together, sharing their unique points of views for a better whole. That's what we want. That's the kind of, or if that's the cult culture that we can make, then I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. But no like drinking the Kool-Aid and suiciding each other. That would be a bad idea. James Nayland says, well, the bull moon has struck again. Indeed it did, man. Funnily enough, those bull moons, powerful as all hell. Jonathan K says, "Krown, for fuck's sake, I'm finally up a little bit after buying the top." Well, what the hell? So you bought the top and then now you're up? Wait, certainly, I mean, I guess that implies you had a different top in mind than the $65,000 top, because we're very far away from that still. Do I sell now and wait for a retrace, or hold and wait for 41? Of course, these sorts of decisions you need to make on your own. If I was trading that position myself, yeah, I do think Bitcoin's going to get general continuation from here. Short term, just a pullback a little bit. Yes, I don't know if that's worth it to you or not. I don't know if you're long term or short term. So again, these sorts of questions I can never directly answer, because just a couple of lines on like a YouTube comment is certainly not enough to make an educated decision. I can tell you what I would do in that position. If I was a little bit more like medium term oriented, I'd probably hold it and look to get out a little bit at 40 or 41, and then probably hold a little bit more a little bit later. What did I just get hit on over here? What is this? What just happened there, sirs and zers? Oh, nice. I bought some of those calls back. Sweet. All right. Oh, baby. That was a nice fucking trade right there. Yeah, I think I bought some back of the $80,000 strike calls. Nice one. All right, so close that position. Nice half Bitcoin profit right there. Not bad. Okay, we'll take it. Yeah, these are a lot of marks right here, as you can see. What the hell? These marks are fucking nasty, man. Super nasty. These $36,000 strike calls that I bought for $13.99 are certainly not worth that much, because that's literally below parity right now. Parity would be what, plus 2,500. So yeah, that's Jesus Christ, yeah, that's a little bit off right there. That's going to be certainly marked, so that should go up. This should be adding up to probably like 4 or 5 Bitcoin at the end of the day. Anyways, let's go back on over here. And let's go see what the other comments are saying. Oh, Mr. Scott Barney, here he is. There he is. ALYI, next run up of 20 cents break. What targets? Sir, for the love of fucking God. It's range bound as fuck, man. It's range bound as fuck. If 20 cent breaks? Oh, if 20 cent breaks. If 20 cent, okay, if 20 cents break, all right. I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Again, I still think this one's going sideways at best for, probably for another few months, if anything. If 20 cents breaks, so basically if you take out the high of this current rally, which I actually do think maybe over time, it probably does, where my next targeted region be? It looks like I've already done that way on over here. 50 to 70 cents region. Well, a little bit shorter term would be about 37 cents, but I don't think you'd stop there ultimately. I do think that one would continue overall. All right, let's see what else we got. Super Ghoulie says, hello, sir. How you doing, man? How's your weekend? It was good, man. Very relaxing, very restful. And now I'm getting ready for a nice week of opportunities and trading, and then some Doom action a little bit later today as well. So hopefully we can get a nice Twitch session. And can we have a quick look at XRP-USD, daily and moon phase? Sure, I suppose. Do you want to look at XRP, I guess, on these charts, the moon charts over here? We can do that, I guess, if you really desire. Honestly, why not? All right, let's see. Let's go to maybe Finex on this one, because they're going to have more history. Oh, wow. As soon as you get the moon, as soon as you get the bull moon, looking good. Yeah, I'd be looking for XRP to extend the run a little bit towards 71 cents or so. Probably short and medium term, and then I'd be looking for a bit of consolidation if things really get crazy, probably back up to 90 cents or a buck. Still not my favorite chart. It is relatively weak, all things considered, but yeah, good enough for a reversal. Looks like it wants to follow the rest of the market, but I stand by my words there in the sense that longer term, I think that this one is not going to benefit as much as some of the other majors, but it is going to join the rest of the rally. As always, if Bitcoin rallies, everything kind of gets a free ride, and I believe that that's kind of what we're looking at right now, XRP included. But yeah, very nice move right there. Very nice move indeed. Let's see what else we got. Brendan McBride says, did you see Mara's tweet? In January, she tweeted May 16th and July 25th, the day of the top and bottom. The witch is using Demon Match to predict markets. Holy shit, man. I need to bring her on this channel. We need to talk this one out. I need to know. I need to fucking know I need to know my prophecy. What the hell is all this about? That is absolutely insane. That is absolutely insane. I mean, it's like you want to hate on something like that, but you cannot hate on results, or at least I mean, if you want to hate on results, then that just makes you a lunatic, in my opinion. Pun intended right there. But yeah, man, very, very impressive. Gotta give out credit where credit is due, and credit is certainly very much due right there, man. I'd love to have her on this channel and just chat it out, just to fucking see what the hell is going on here. Elsa, can you learn about the goddamn moon cycles and shit? I think Elsa's sister is like into astrology as well, so maybe she can tell us about that. Anyways, Jack Asselman says, good morning, Krown. Good morning, sir. Ethereum Bitcoin, short, medium, and long term, please. Oh man, I have a feeling that your Ethereum Bitcoin is actually not looking all that hot right there. Jesus Christ, man. So Bitcoin did outpace Ethereum on this last move. It looks like otherwise we wouldn't have got that downside move, wouldn't we have? Anyways, go look at, I want to see the weekly here first. Okay, I still look at this as a very healthy consolidation. It's sloppy as all hell, but that's to be expected in altcoins, even Ethereum. Short term, if you're asking simply about short term, I do think you're going to retest the lows once again of this last little dumpola, probably somewhere back down around about 0.059 million. I think that's 5.9 million Satoshis. I'm not necessarily convinced that you're going to make new lows right there. I'd be looking for this one to kind of level out in some sort of fashion first. Again, I actually do like Ethereum overall, at least for like the next couple weeks here. Even in comparison to Bitcoin, as I'd be looking like something like this. Short term very likely does come back down here, grind it out, and then once you trade back above this high, that's at the point where I would look for to test around the prior highs of this falling channel and maybe even get a breakout from that region. Again, all higher term time frames still very much bullish, but as we've been saying, this one's going to take a long time. And this, if I show you this chart right here, are you bullish or bearish? You're probably going to be bullish. If I show you this chart right here, you're going to be bullish or bearish. You're probably going to be bullish. I still think long term this one is very likely going above 0.1 and well, maybe even more. I mean, this is an uptrend on a quarterly chart. Nothing's really changed there, which is rather impressive. So I think I'll just let that one speak as it is. But short term, yeah, a little bit of downside depending upon your disposition there. Medium term, just side within this range, and then long term, I very likely would be looking for that to continue on with the general uptrend there. In fact. Miguel says, "Hey, Krown, what's up, man? Got no time to trade. Missed all bounces because could go down more. Could go down more. .tm. Fear. Can you give me an opinion on one position sizes? I only spot trade and go all in. Okay, well that's a problem to waiting to happen. Try to maximize ROI. If wrong, I hold, but it can suck. How to better set up if wrong. All right, this would be a good video for me to record. So let me just get ready over here. Let me take a sippy sip of this first." Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, let's see what we got over here. Okay. Okay, so the question is, Krown, I've got no time to trade, missed all bounces because could go down more, fear. Can you give me an opinion on one position sizes? Miguel is saying that he only trades spot and he goes all in, always, it sounds like. And he tries to maximize ROI. Well, that's a very noble consideration. If wrong, I hold, but it can still suck. Okay, so let's answer this one first, and then we'll go off of number 2. Okay, position sizes. Does it ever make sense to go all in? Absolutely fucking not. As a trader, if you're an investor, different sort of thing. But even then, I would still think, that's just going to be unnecessary risk. Okay, so you actually have a couple of questions tied up in this first one to begin with. You try to maximize ROI. Okay. If wrong, I hold, but it can suck. That's not maximizing ROI. Okay. So first off, your first part of your of your comment is like it actually doesn't make sense when you put it to the test. And I'm not saying this to step on your toes or anything like that, but think about this. If your goal is to maximize your ROI, so this is your user defined goal, then holding, if you're wrong, is that wise? Absolutely fucking not. You have to have areas. You have to have some sort of criteria that would invalidate your current idea. Something that tells you, hey, this is not going to work out. Because if your goal is to maximize your ROI, then you need to be getting out of these trades that you end up holding for a long time because you are spending your opportunity cost on being stuck in a shit trade when you could have gotten out and potentially positioned yourself better. For better or worse. Now, this obviously comes down to strategy question as well, which maybe you don't even have. You don't really go into anything for that. So I don't know what you're basing your trades off of, but certainly it would be a very, very good idea to fill out the trade checklist if you haven't already, because it's going to force you to identify what you're exactly looking for, because maximizing ROI is not like a trading plan. It's something that is going to be a byproduct of a good trading plan, obviously, but that's not a fucking trading plan because you don't have any metrics to kind of gauge yourself by that are tangible that you actually have control over when you're trading yourself. Because you obviously do not have control over price. I mean, none of us do. No singular person does have control over price. I mean, this is a fucking world market after all. You don't know who's the bigger whale. Anyways, that's another conversation for another time. Anyways, more importantly, position sizing for that. Or sorry, actually, no, we need to tie up that loose end first. Okay, so if you are going to have a trading plan, then naturally speaking, you're going to have some sort of indications that tell you when to go in because you actually have an edge and it's going to give you what you're looking for. And then that is also going to be mediated by whatever whatever price you're targeting, or some sort of criteria that tells you, hey, this move that I was looking to play has mostly played out and it's time for me to get the hell out now because it's probably not going to go more in my direction, or I've essentially fulfilled what I was looking for. And then also you need to have some sort of an area, some sort of criteria that essentially invalidates your trade idea so that you can get out and potentially reposition yourself, assuming that you see another one of those good signals that you were first basing your trade off of, which it sounds like you probably didn't do to begin with. Otherwise you would not be in that trade, which is obviously you said is going against you and you're holding, but it can suck. Yeah, that's a terrible idea. Again, opportunity cost is a real thing, and you need to factor in if you're going to be a trader, you need to factor in what could I have made, what could I have done besides being in the shit trade, because you're not just in dead money, you're also losing money because you technically could be in something else that is moving in your direction. And the way that I think is that, oh, that's actually me losing money on like two fronts now. I'm losing time, which is the only thing that we can never get back in life. And then I'm also losing money because I could have actually been in a trade that was working for me during that fucking time as well. So that needs to be set up. As far as position sizing goes, going all in is obviously never a fucking good idea. Now, it also depends. I also understand that it's a bit of a nuanced conversation as well. For some people, going all in, if they have like $1,000 net worth and they're young, it's not a big deal because they're a fucking kid, and and it's not that much money, and you can work for more over the time of your life, and maybe there's just asymmetrical reward for that potential risk. There's definitely some merit to that, and I know that some people do that, especially on the younger side. But once you get a little bit, once you get a little bit older, once you have a little bit more of a net worth, once you have a little bit more, just umph to your being, I suppose, to your financial wealth, then you need to think of yourself as like slowly kind of navigating the waters. You can't be going all in at that level. Now, this is going to be something that is, defined by yourself, but I'd say that level probably happens around $50,000 to $100,000. You can't be going fucking all in and risking it all at that level, in my opinion, and expect to like grow larger over time, because it just takes one trade to wipe you out. You can't be living and dying by the sword. It's a terrible way to do it. And I'm sure that several people here, or they're probably not going to be here, but because they're already washed out, but people who have done that and have survived, they will very likely tell you that is a great way to get wrecked. Because what happens if you get a March 2020 situation where Bitcoin dumps all the way? If we can just go right on over here, let's say you bought because looks good, bro, over here, and then it just dumps 50% in your face. Are you gonna hold that whole way through? I mean, if you do it on spot, you're not gonna get liquidated, obviously, but holy shit, man, like what happens if you have if this is all your money and then you have like, I don't know, your rent to pay or some sort of life situation happens, you might find yourself in a really, really tricky situation. And for whatever reason, those usually coincide with each other. So I think that that's a terrible idea, to be honest with you. I think that you really shouldn't even risk more than like a few percent of your net worth after a certain level. It can make more sense if certain things are in order, but that's not for me to say. And I do like to come at this from a little bit more of a subdued and conservative standpoint, because look, if you make a bad trade and it's like 5% of your net worth, it's not going to fucking wreck you for life. It's not going to change your life, most likely. If you do it with like 20%, it will. If you do it with 50%, you're goddamn right it will. If you do it with 100%, it absolutely will. So, you really have to consider that, because you just don't know what unforeseen events can happen. Anyways, going on to the next portion of your question, how do you better set up if wrong? Well, basically, we actually kind of already answered that. You need to have a fucking plan, man. If you don't have a plan, you can expect that this is going to continually happen until you get one of those catastrophic situations where the stars align and then you get washed out, and just, it's a disaster, man. It's very fucking sad. And believe me, we all think that it can't happen to ourselves. I've definitely thought that in the past, and I was wrong. And I'm sure other people can assure you of that as well. I get emails of this sometimes of people who explain their situation, and it's fucking sad, man. Like it's very, very sad. And I'm not talking about this on stream to make them feel worse. It's just, this is important to kind of espouse to other people out there in this sort of a venue, because it can and will happen to you if you put yourself in that position. Absolutely. Anyways, you come on to say, could you please help me add more context to super chat above, that I simply don't have time to check the charts lately. If you don't have time to check the charts, man, and if you're going to trade, you're sorry, this one makes me mad. This one makes me really fucking mad. Okay, so you don't have time to check the charts, and you're going to trade, Well, if you're trading like low term time frames where you need to be checking the charts, like, oh my fucking God, man. Look, you're playing Russian roulette with your goddamn finances, sir. You have a chance to use this in a very powerful way in order to create a living for yourself, perhaps for the rest of your life. That could maybe even change your life too, if you really put the effort towards it. But you're like, I don't have time to check the charts, but I'm just going to punt this trade anyways. Like, what the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking, like, think about that. Let's say you were just going to go to a financial advisor and they'd say, yeah, man, well, I'm pretty busy this week. I'm going on vacation, so I'm not going to be checking the charts, but I'm just going to throw your money in this. Would you trust that person? You'd say, hey, man, fuck you. I'm not giving you my money. You're crazy. You're fucking insane, sir. So it also depends. Maybe you're not trading on very low term timeframes. Maybe you're trading on like, you know, a monthly schedule. In that case, perhaps that can still make sense, but you still have to be able to be adherent to certain criteria that can happen within the charts, or that can happen just in whatever venue that would invalidate your trade. You need to have that set in. Perhaps that means having a stop loss in. In fact, I would strongly hope that would entail that. But perhaps I'm also putting my own points of view onto that at the same time as well. So maybe I don't need to be as harsh with that. But if you are trading lower term timeframes, you can't trade and you can't check the charts all the time, or even like on a daily. That can't work. You're just giving yourself up to unnecessary risk, in my opinion. And then you come back to say, just that I have zero time to check the charts lately. Look, that is no fucking excuse, man. That is no fucking excuse. That's like expecting, that's like saying, look, man, I wanna look like Z's. I wanna look like fucking Z's, bro. I'm gonna be Z's, bro. I'm gonna be the next Z's, bro. That's exactly right. And then you don't go to the gym. You say, I don't have time to go to the gym. And then also there's like a financial consequence as well. You know, like, I don't know, you enter into a competition and it's going to be for money. You have to pay like $100,000 to do it. Like, you can't do that, man. Come on. You know that logically. You know that logically. I'm sure that you do. Anyways, I hope that answers that in a somewhat respectful way. And please do come back if I did miss something in that, and we can readdress that. All right, sweet. Let's see what else we got. Aaron White says T-Fuel, my man. T-Fuel daily and weekly if you feel like it. All right, let's see. T-Fuel. T-Fuel on where are we gonna go here? I guess Binance. Okay, daily and weekly. Weekly looks good for a little bit of a continuation move here, probably at 43 cents or sorry, 41 to 42 cents. Daily, yeah, not as strong as some of the other ones, but okay. Okay, didn't really break the low structure here like at all. Didn't put in a new low, or actually, I already have this one charted in. Okay, not bad. What I would like to see on this one is I would like to see a daily close above the 55. If that does happen, I would extend targets to about 41 to 42 or so, more medium term. There's your low structure right there. Pretty damn simple. Here is your highs right there. That's going to be the next sort of tentacle target on a continuation move, and then short term would be this area right here. Very simply put, right around there. However, this one is getting rejected thus far, but I suspect that this is just because it's an illiquid shitcoin and probably is going to be a little bit just to be expected, I suppose. Anywhere above the last 4-hour high, anywhere above, even on a tick, I'd be extending the move back up to about 42.5. Actually, I think I said 41 cent earlier, probably more like 42 to 43 cent in this case. Actually 42 to 44 cent region, and then I'd be looking for a pullback from there. Again, gonna very likely do whatever Bitcoin does, but I suspect based off the weekly, this one very likely does continue here. Would it be my favorite one? But it's fine, I suppose. Does have hidden bullish evidence as well. So typically speaking, that will insinuate a target. Yeah, actually, that would not insinuate the 42 cent target. That would insinuate the 48 to 49 cent target. A lot better. And this one actually is still in an uptrend, to be fair as well. So this one never left the weekly downtrend. In fact, not bad at all. In fact, actually okay. So give it the benefit of the doubt. Not bad at all. Aaron Depp says, Sir Krown, good sir. Good Mr. Aaron Depp. How you doing, man? Please tell Jonathan to stop playing games and hold. Okay, John, I don't know what's best for you, and this is not financial advice. Stop playing games and hold, as said to you by Aaron Depp. Not fucking me, man. I'm not responsible for that. We love John, but he's having 200,000 more if he just holds. Thoughts on one medium time frame? You know, buy and hold is an interesting strategy because people always like to compare buy and hold to like XYZ trading strategy. But the thing with buy and hold is that it doesn't tell you when to get out, and that's what a trading strategy does tell you to do. So I would say buy and hold is fine as long as you have some sort of criteria as to when to get out, and not just like some sort of exorbitant moon boy induced target, like something that has like merit that you can track, that is tangible. Anyways, you want to look at one medium time frames, few months. Okay, you said medium time frames and then you said few months. This is going to be interesting. Looks fine right here, man. You got that same sort of bait and switch. I'd imagine this one runs back up to about 89, 90 cents or so. A little bit of a short-term pullback from there, and then your big level is going to be coming in just above 11.5 to 12 cents or so. Weekly, fine, man. It's put in a low right here. Yeah, I'd be looking for general continuation. Short-term, there's probably going to be, well, no, this one's continuing short-term. Just let it run. It's fine. Putting a higher low here on the daily, popped back above the 55. This one very likely does run higher. Very likely does run higher. Wouldn't be surprised to see it around 11 cents or 12.5 cents over the next, I don't know, few weeks. Okay. Hey, what's up, Appetynamic? There he is. Hi. How's it going, sir? I hope you're well. It's going all right, man. I had a weird night of sleep last night, but it's all right. All right. Now, I guess, if I can get my words out properly. Hope you're doing well as well over there in Australia, sir. Evil Quandress says, I keep finding big green dildos in my portfolio drawer. Can you use your whale powers to pump AMP? Actually, I don't really trade any altcoins. Some more. I missed my chance to sell the top. Let's see. This one was acting pretty damn well like a few weeks ago, right? I'm thinking of the same one, I believe. Gemini. Yeah. This one basically hit around the prior time high already on that last move. It still looks fine here, man. Based off the daily, kind of a long wick on that one, but here's what I'd be looking for to kind of confirm the next sort of continuation move back up to the prior high. In this case, I just want to see a daily closure above about 7.5 cents or so. Short term, does it trade back down to 6.3 or so? Maybe yes, but I'd be looking at that as an opportunity on first pass. 4 hour shows a completely different picture than the daily. I suspect that this one's going to give another try back up. Continuation short term would be actually the high side of that last wick, about 9.25. Long term though, I mean, it's still it's one of the few ones that's kind of held the uptrend long term. So I'd give it the benefit of the doubt and probably look for it to retest prior time highs over the next few weeks, and then probably make new all-time highs. I mean, this is still fine. Doesn't look that great on a daily, but monthly and the shorter term time frames show a completely different picture. So actually, I would want to run with that. Of course, there's going to be sideways and downside moves within there, but as long as those levels hold, fine. Jonathan K says, hello, sir. How you doing, man? If you had to guess, do you think we retest 36 to 36 and a half Bitcoin from here, or do you think we make our way to 40s first? Okay, so let's make sure that we have some things in order here. So do I think that it's more likely that we head to 40,000, like just right here, $40,000, and then come back down, or literally just come back down directly from where we're at right now? I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know. This is a pretty heavy volume move right there. So it probably does have a little bit of try for continuation first. Does it technically stab $40,000 before coming back down to 36.5 or 36? Probably yes. I don't think that this is just gonna be one spike up and then done. I think it's gonna grind up this area right here first and then maybe come down. Or here's also what I could say. If we do see any sort of do we even want to use a 4 hour on this one? Now let's just use a daily. If we see any sort of a daily closure above this last sort of trappy high right here, or even just a tick above this high, then no, I'd be looking for a move to $45,000 first, then come back down like I don't know, maybe like a month or two later, and then base off of 36.5 and see if we get it like a major macro high or low around there. That's what I'd be looking for. So yeah, extremely short term. I actually do think it will get one more drive up here. Does it get rejected or not? I don't know. I mean, that's like, you can't fucking know. There is no crystal ball for that. I'll just say that if it does get rejected, that's at the point where I would be looking for that move down to 36 or 36.5. And I do think that there are a few more indications suggesting that does happen after, again, another try of about $40,000. But assuming that we just don't take out this prior high right here on a closing or wick basis, I'd be looking for, then I would be looking for that move down, and I'd be looking to buy that move myself. Of course, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Anyways, what else do we have? Oh, Solverine, you bastard, you. Morning, Mr. Shapiro, you fuck. You, how dare you, sir? Mind checking ACC daily on Euronext? Sure, let's see what we got over here. What is this, man? Let's see. You got it. You probably got another one from, holy, actually, very good chart. Very, very good chart. Very, very good chart, man. Nice accumulation going out. Actually, this doesn't go too far back, but back to about February 2021. Higher lows all around here. Good. Getting a little bit more mature within this consolidation, but I don't think it's ready just yet. I think it's going to spend some more time. But ultimately, I mean, this is yet again another higher low right here. Short term very likely does continue up to about 19.5, and probably even gives another try back up here. And then maybe around September or October it tries for an actual breakout there, and then you can probably see some pretty fun targets being hit. But for right now, still consolidating, a very healthy consolidation. Very, very, very nice. You said you bought at 16.9. Yeah, you basically, oh wow, you bought the low, man. You did a phenomenal job. I mean, you couldn't have traded it better. You couldn't have traded it better. If you're coming to this in the last week, you basically bought the fucking low. Perfect. Very easy to manage risk off of, and realistically, this one's gonna very likely continue from here. I just don't know if I don't think it's ready to like break this whole formation to the upside just yet. But very, very good trading, man. That's awesome. I think that it will over time go for a new all-time high, but not like from this exact posture. I think it's going to test that top side once again, probably come back down a little bit, consolidate a little bit lower, try for another higher low, and then do it most likely. BK says, can you look at AMP USD 4 hour daily weekly? We already did. I suspect that this is just coming in a little bit later, so let me know, but I suspect that that's already been answered. Fucking buy the dip says, a little thank you for my stinky linky. Stay skunky. Thanks for all you do. And my pleasure. In fact, let's go look at Link. How is Link doing on this last little move? Back up to around 20 bucks. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, not bad at all, actually. Very nice move right there. Not above the 55, however, though. So it is definitely a laggard right here. Still a laggard, man. Very unfortunate to see for Link, which was one of the darlings of the market. Would like to see it close above this past prior high at about 20 bucks. And then, yeah, I'd look for it to have general continuation. And again, whatever Bitcoin's going to do, this one's going to mirror. But it's not relatively strong anymore as it was in years prior. Now it is relatively weak. But yeah, as long as Bitcoin keeps it up, which I think that it will, generally speaking, this one probably does gun up towards, I don't know, mid 20s or so, 25 or so. Pretty damn good. Brian David, hey, what's up, Brian Davis? Quant Data Dono. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. And in our pleasure, man, we are looking to add more and more information. We got some pretty damn cool things lined up. I think in the next month or two. Should be some good ones. And like I said, we're going to be able to offer up hourly refreshing of all the of all that data as well. So major thank you, man. Major thank you. And if you have any sort of ways that you think that we or any points of data that you'd like to see added, we can definitely do that. Just let us know. As long as it's reasonable, of course, as well. King Cosmic says, "Hi, Spy, please. 1 hour in daily opportunities." All right, let's see what we had. I think short term. We looked at it earlier, and it was probably a little bit of a short term pullback. But do not confuse short term pullback with a reversal. I mean, this is still long term bullish. I know it sounds fucking crazy, man, but look, like the stock market right now, I don't care. The funny thing about the stock market is honestly the only thing that you really need to watch for. I'm actually convicted of this right now, and I've been convicted of this for the past month and a half now. The only thing you need to watch for in the stock market is the Fed's balance sheet expanding or not. If it is, which it has been, probably looking at new all-time highs. And I think that we just saw one of the greater expansions that we've seen in a while, just in the last week. So very likely making new all-time highs once again, man. Have we already seen the pullback? Perhaps yes. Hourly is doing what? Yeah, hourly's having a nice little reset right there. If it does want to dump out a little bit more, 43.7 is where I'd be looking towards, but I'm looking for new all-time highs this week, man. I would love to see it retest down around about 43.7, but I'm not. I don't have like that's not like a hard set rule right there. So yeah, mostly very short term, probably sideways a little bit. Probably new all-time highs later this week, if not today, maybe. What's up, Go Lucky? OMG, I made a 5x trade on moon cycles and it made me rich. Now I can afford McDonald's again. Fuck yeah, man. Get those chicken nuggets, baby. They are great. I used to live off those in college. You know what I used to do every night in college? I either went to Taco Bell or McDonald's, and I would have like $5 to $10 and I'd just order everything off the goddamn dollar menu. It was disgusting, and holy shit, I'm still alive after that. Absolutely terrible. Okay, absolutely fucking terrible. I do not suggest anyone doing that. But Taco Bell, very, 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 very efficient if you are low on funds as a college student, especially. ILOP111 says, Krown, my guy, appreciate the content, sir. Hey man, thank you for that. That's very kind. Can you check out W Day on the daily and weekly? Sure. I'm guessing this is a stock right here. It is Workday. All right, and you said daily and weekly, is that right? Yes, you did. Okay, let's go over here to the daily. Looking good. What do you know? Another fucking higher low, huh? I'd probably be looking for this one to retest the range highs. Once again, 246, 245 region. Weekly, same thing. Oh, wow. Powerful weekly buyback there. Very powerful. Yeah, I like this one for general consumer. This is obviously a very healthy consolidation on low volatility right there. I'd be looking for this one to retest the range highs, probably based off there once again, a little bit of a short-term sideways consolidation, then very likely pops up maybe in the next couple of weeks or month or whatever to 260 or so. Generally speaking, long-term, this is just one straight uptrend and a very constructive uptrend at that. Very good. Very, very good. Even the monthly has a higher low as well. Good. Very, very nice. Very nice. Although I would like to have seen hidden bullish evidence on that last higher low. That would be the one counterpoint I would say to that. All right, let's see. Miguel says, haha, for full context. It's Miguel's back again. I want to invest, not trade, brother. Okay, different thing. Yes, I go all in for each coin. I'm comfortable after checking fundamentals, long time frames. Okay. So fair enough. So if you are very long-term time frames, then yeah, you don't need to necessarily check every day. In fact, it's probably not even a great idea to check every day if, like, you know, you're thinking years down the road, right? But what I would say, Miguel, is that it still is wise to have a trade checklist filled out. It's just you're naturally going to use higher term time frames. So let's say, for example, you are operating like a 5-year time frame horizon. Well, at that point, what sort of a time frame would it make sense for you to manage things off of? I would say like a monthly or bi-monthly would be about right. So do you need to check a monthly or bi-monthly every day? Absolutely not. I mean, probably weekly would be good, but even like bi-weekly is probably fine enough anyways. And you can still make a plan based off that. So I do apologize because I did put my own sort of proclivities onto what I was saying to you earlier. You obviously have a different, you have a completely different strategy and everything, but still it needs to come within the form of something that tells you to get the fuck out if you need to get the fuck out. So still, I would actually fill that out. It's just you're naturally going to use different time frames, and yeah, you don't need to check it out every day. It's completely fine. But every week to 2 weeks would make a lot more sense, and you could maybe even manage off that as well. Lilith Music says, "Hi Krown, stuck to my target point plan and got out at 36,450 and then watched it hit 38,000. How to know when to let profits run, or was it a good practice to stick to my plan?" It's always good practice to stick to your plan because look, I'm gonna guess you probably based that off of a lower term time frame setup, and that would have been the right call in my opinion as well. And in fact, that's what I would have done exactly if I was trading like, you know, a 4 hour based off of the charts that we were looking at yesterday. That's a fine trade. That's a very, very good trade, and that is good trading by definition. Now, if you're trading a daily setup, perhaps, then at that point, well, I don't know. Let's see. What would the daily setup target have been? No, still 36. Yeah, still. What was it? Yeah, 36,450. That is an obvious area. You have to take profits around there. I mean, at least some. So it depends what time frame that you were on and what your setup was on, but I'm never gonna down talk someone who played out their actual plan. I mean, assuming that the plan actually has, you know, good data supported up, but it sounds like, you know, whatever you're doing was working. No, that's a good trade. That's a good trade. Now you look for the next setup that had the same sort of criteria that you used to get into that trade once again, and, you know, pull off the same trick. That's completely fine. I mean, you already did it, so there's no reason why you can't do it again. That's good trading in my opinion. Very, very good trading, in fact. Now, what you could maybe put into your plan if you were trading, let's say like a daily based off of that, is you could say, hey, that's my first target point. If I get there, I take off X amount, and then, you know, maybe I do hold a little, you know, maybe I hold like a 20% of my position, of my original position, in case this is like the move that it might be based off of other higher term timeframes that might lead into this based off that signal. That could also be a consideration as well. But look, man, that's good trading. That's good trading. You hit your target point, you took your profits. That's a very, 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 very powerful skill to be able to do, because a lot of the time, as you know, it's difficult to take profits because you always think what if. Well, you're always going to think what if, man. Like, look, if you let's put this in context right here. Let's say you bought right here, you bought $56,000 and you said, Krown, I bought $56,000, I bought the low, and I'm going to target $60,000 because it's a nice round even number. And then you're like, okay, well, I made $5,000, $4,000, $5,000 right there. And you're like, fuck, Krown, god damn it, man. It went up another $4,000. You suck. And then I'd say, well, look, you played out your plan anyways. And guess what? You just don't have the foresight of seeing what happens after that. So no, man, playing out your plan is always a fucking good thing. Always, always, always. Again, assuming that it is backed up by data that suggests that, you know, it's going to work over time, which I suspect that you've already done. Anyways, yeah, man, I think great trading. I think great trading right there. And then you can maybe evolve off to, evolve from that by maybe just taking partial profits or taking majority profits and then letting the rest run. You can definitely do that as well. And that's actually what I do myself with a very small amount, that is. When the money's in your hands, you fucking take it, man. That's trading right there, because things can and will switch around rather quickly. Adam Brooks says NKN USDT Binance is the bottom end, path back to all-time high. Oh boy. Oh boy. What's this, man? All right, you're looking at this thing right here. Is the bottom in. I would not feel just like I'm not comfortable saying that the bottom is certainly in for Bitcoin. I'm certainly not comfortable saying that the bottom is in for shitcoin. Do I think that the bottom is in for a good amount of time? Yes, I do. I think that you're going to trade decently higher from here in line with Bitcoin. But I would not feel confident saying that like the macro low is in. You just get long and strong until it goes back to the all-time high. No, because I mean if it goes back to the all-time high, it's just going to make new highs anyways. Maybe after a pullback or whatever. But let's look at the monthly here. Yeah, I would not feel comfortable saying that this is like the all-time, this is going to be your next macro low here. No, not at all. Again, even for Bitcoin, I think that Bitcoin's going to trade up, then very likely come back down. And then if it is going to set in a macro low, it will do it, you know, somewhere right around here. Same thing for this one, maybe around like 30 cents overall, which hasn't even gotten to just yet. So would I say that the all-time low is in? No, absolutely not. Do I think that it's going to test the all-time high from this exact moment right here without any major pullbacks? Absolutely not as well. But I do think it will go higher. I think this one could very easily, assuming that Bitcoin goes into the 40s, go up to, you know, 38, maybe even 40 cents. No problem. Above there, things get a little bit shaky, but I'd take it one step at a time, man. I would never feel comfortable calling like look, man, this is ridiculous. No, fuck no, man. 700% move off this level. This is what the real chart looks like. No, I don't think so. In fact, if I'm looking at something like this, that would be a good counterpoint to calling this a macro low. This one does not look like it is. That's not fucking good, man. How hard did this one get hammered to the downside? 90%. Look, man, you're trading a significantly weak altcoin. You're like, this is certainly not going to be the first one to reach back towards its all-time highs. I'm not trying to say that again to talk down with you. It's just like it's relatively weak. It's to be honest with you, it's very, 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 very obvious here that this one's relatively weak. The strong ones actually pulled back into uptrends, like 30-40%, which is still like fucking crazy. The ones that were kind of neutral pulled back about the same as Bitcoin, about 50%, and the weak ones pulled back 70%. This one pulled back almost 90%. It's like one of the worst of the bunch in my opinion, to be honest with you. It's going to take a very, very strong market to get that thing back up. And you'd probably be looking at Bitcoin new all-time highs significantly before this thing retests and makes new all-time highs, if that even is going to happen from this area. So I would like to be a little bit more subdued with that one. Abagenomics says, you're from Connecticut? Why did I think that you were from Australia? What did I think that? That's so bizarre. My stupid voice is like cracking to the upside too. Well, shit, man. I'm glad that you told me now. I thought the same thing for Josh too. I thought that he was Irish for some reason. Why? Where do I get these ideas? I don't know. Apologies, man. Connecticut it is. All right. Some US bros going on over here. Brizzy B says AGL on Australia. Okay. On the weekly, has to be time for bounce right. Must bounce right. I mean, it's bouncing already, man. It's bouncing already. You got a nice little inverted head and shoulders bottom forming right here. I do think it will trade up from this region, 38 and a half over the next, I don't know, month or two. Weekly is a massive engulfing right here. Very nice. I do think that it will get continuation from here. Wouldn't call this a macro low, or it's just too young to kind of judge this one, which has only been around from April. But very likely continuation from this area. On the higher term time frame specifically. Mr. Sam Frangdosi, how you doing, man? I know that you're Australian for sure. USD versus yen. Yes, check it out. All right. Here. Dollar yen. What is it going to be? And what time frames you're looking at? And where's Tokyo? Where's Tokyo? He loves this one too. You're saying daily 4 hour? Okay. Well, the weekly actually like. The weekly actually like right here. I'd be looking for this one to trade back up to 111. Daily's fine as well. I do think that it gets a little bit of continuation here. Daily doesn't necessarily work off that same low. I don't necessarily think that it's ready to break the top side just yet. Probably does test around there, maybe like 111 or about 111 or so. Not so sure after that. Maybe comes back down and tries for another higher low, but long term I am still bullish on this one. Tokyo Channel hasn't asked about this one in a while, but I'd still say that I'm more or less bullish on it long term. Monthly and quarterly both kind of tell the story on this one. Nice reversal right there, looking good. Abagenomics says DT on the daily is 67 and 75 too greedy, assuming it continues. Let's see. DT, this thing right here. Guessing it's this thing right here. Whoa, holy fuck. Powerful. This is very good. No, you just had a bullish engulfing weekly, man. Look. Okay, whenever you see something like this, this thing is entering into like very likely the last phase of its parabolic rally, but at the very least it's going to get continuation. Okay, so when you see something like this, remember this one. When you see a bearish engulfing, then resolved by a bullish engulfing, it's extremely likely it's going to continue on. I think that you're Next target is 67. Is that too greedy? No, I think it's a good place to maybe take short-term profits, but 75. The problem is that this thing is entering into like an actual parabolic move right here. So I don't have any real targets to give you. There's no targets in my mind to kind of give you on this one. Do I think that it will hit 75? I think it's going to hit both your targets more or less over time. This is a very, very strong signature right here. Whenever you see that, very good. Very, very good. Daily, same thing. Just close the week on new all-time highs. Yeah, not bearish, you'd say. And let me take another sippy sip of this, man. I'm damn thirsty right now. There we go. Jonathan K says, hey man, just want to say that the space is filled with D-bags. I'm one of them. And since I've been watching you, actually seem like hey, I appreciate that, man. I do appreciate that, but I'm sure, you know, if there's certain people that you ask around there, they're gonna fucking hate me too. So whatever. Here's the thing, man. I certainly do appreciate that, and it certainly does mean it certainly does mean a lot, just because, you know, I know that I know that this space can be a little bit less than inspiring sometimes. Less than inspiring is a way to put it. So, you know, I just hope that, or at least my purpose on this channel is to say things as I like truly believe, for better or worse, you know, and that's going to come with me being both right and wrong sometimes. And if you've been on this channel, you've seen me being like gloriously wrong sometimes, and that's just going to happen, man. But what my aim to do here is to basically, you know, show what I'm looking at, show what I'm doing, and give you like exactly what I'd be looking for to kind of confirm or deny, you know, moves in typically both directions, because that is real trading. At the end of the day, I mean, there is randomness that goes on. Abso-fucking-lutely. I mean, that is one of the assumptions in trading, and so you always have to have a plan if something, you know, does not go your way. So my main thing is I want to kind of give out like the biggest lesson that I had to learn in trading, which is like, what do you fucking do if you're wrong, right? What do you fucking do if you're wrong? Because it can and will happen. And even some of the best traders that I know, man, like they're right. You know, if they're right, like 70% of the time, like that's really fucking impressive. If you're a high frequency trader, it's like if you're right 50.0000001% of the time, you're doing fine, you know. So it's always different strokes, but you got to have a plan for what to do if and when things go wrong. Because I had to learn that the hard way, man. I had to learn that by going broke myself. So if I can save someone the pain of doing that, that would probably be good. That would be time well spent, because I know that ain't fucking fun. And realistically, like, you don't need to. Now, I know that a lot of people need to, like, or a lot of people learn from very, you know, harsh experiences. That's what like usually opens up our emotions to learn and do something differently, right? And for me, that is true. But the thing is that you don't need to do that. You know, what is the saying? A smart man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Like, learn from my mistakes. You don't need to fucking repeat them, because no one likes going to fucking zero. It's really not fucking fun, man. It's very difficult to get out of too. Daniel Garcia says CFMS on the daily weekly. Sure, man. CMFS. What we got here? Whoops, that's not a ticker. There we go. I must have spelled it wrong. Okay, what was it? CFMS. CFMS. Okay, there we go. All right, this is on NASDAQ. And you're looking at daily, weekly, so higher term time frames. Get off the hourly then. Don't really fucking hate charts like this. Really fucking despise charts like this. But this one is looking for a good reversal on the weekly. Short term resistance right around about 147, 150-ish region. It looks like we kind of already tested that last week. I'd be looking for this one to take a leg up here. It is a good reversal. I just despise charts that look like this long term. Next relevant region on the weekly specifically is going to be about 182. Then above there you got 235, 240-ish region. Long term, I hate charts that look like this, but yeah, this one is looking good for some more upside from here. Yeah, monthly, same thing as well. So probably does continue, but sloppy as all hell, man. All right, what else we got? Julius Crummer says, Shiba daily, please, to the moon and beyond. This is shib. Bunch of fucking bullshit in here. Let's see on Binance. Okay, there's no monthly because this one's very, very new. What do you know? Bitcoin popping back up around the area that we're looking for, but I think it grinds out there a little bit more. To the moon and beyond. Nope, this one's a piece of shit as well. But if Bitcoin does continue on with the overall rally, this one will follow. No doubt about that, but it is relatively weak is my point. So to the moon and beyond. No, I don't think, I think it'd actually be quite unlikely that you even... Okay, so you're okay. Actually, if we go off of Wix here, where's your real moon? That's 700% move right there. I mean, this one's even worse than the other piece of shit that we looked at earlier. No, I wouldn't feel comfortable saying that at all. Could have some upside here. Yes, absolutely, man. I think most things are just going to generally follow Bitcoin. This one, next relevant level to the upside is actually significantly higher, somewhere right around like 790 to 800 or so. If you can start to trade above there, I'd be looking for it to test back into like the almost 1,000 range right here. But that's like what 1/100,000th of a cent. I'm not so sure, man. I don't think this thing is going back to the moon and beyond. It depends where the moon is for you. I don't know, but this one's still in a downtrend, whereas several other ones are actually bucking their downtrends right now. Weekly still under a lot of pressure, man. This is still a piece of garbage right here, but does it join with the rally? Yes, absolutely. It's just I don't think it's going to join as much, man. For pound, let's see, what did it do on this last move? Yeah, 8.5% to the upside on that last move. Let's see what Bitcoin has done on this last move. About 12% in Bitcoin usually is kind of like par for the course. So yeah. But to put it bluntly, Julius, I do think it's going to continue from there. It's just like, do you want to be in something like that, or do you want to be in something that potentially has more? And also, I mean, it's a fucking meme token, man. So you're probably aware of this, man. I'm probably telling you what you already know. So I'll just let go of that. I do hope that it goes to the moon for you, man. Maybe here's the best case for moon. No, Elon doesn't even like Shiba derp token. He likes doggy token. Ah, shit, man. I think you might be out of luck then. I was gonna say that Elon's gonna put fucking doggy coin on his rockets and send it to Mars, but I guess that idea goes out by the wayside, man. I do wish you the best with that, though. I sincerely do. Mario says, have you seen the KSI model? Are you talking about the KSI, like the rapper guy? Was made by a YouTuber and trader who has a professional statistics background. Guy has an amazing underrated channel. No. Oh, the KSI. Are you talking about the KSI indicator? Fuck, I forget. I barely ever use that one. It is a decent. It's actually well respected by a lot of people that I think have a good handle on things. No, I'm not familiar with the channel though. Maybe I'll have to check it out. But thank you for the information, sir. Rocky G says, would you say this is would you say this is the first time Bitcoin confirmed on a weekend contrary to the daily trend, given the 14th June last obvious local high? Let's see. Okay, so it's the first time that we've seen a reversal over the weekend. No, because we saw the bear trap happen throughout the last part of that week. In this case, so we pop back up around the prior breakdown area and then continue on from there. No, I don't think it fulfills that criteria. Because we saw the bear trap at the end of that week, so we saw the reversal right there. The reversal didn't happen over the weekend, is what I'm saying. The reversal happened right here, and that's my whole ideology with that sort of thing. Okay, cool. Yeah, I need to do a better job of explaining that because you are not the first person to ask. Cole Evans says, hey, Krown, Cardano USD, Binance 4-hour and up as you see fit. Okay, let's see what we got here. I know I have it on my list. Yeah, Cardano, wow, powerful move on the daily, bouncing off the 200 and up. Very likely, that's already kind of tested that high right there, 146.5. That's kind of your next major area to be aware of. 4-hour, it looks like it wants to go around this area once again, like 144 to 145 or so. I don't know if it's ready like exactly this moment to take out that area, but once it does, either with a wick higher than the high side of this one at about 140, let's just call it 150, or a closing high right here above about 146, I'd look for it to extend the runs, and I generally think it is going to do that actually. Next sort of medium-term targets would be 165 after that, and then the big one's going to be 185 or so. And this is going to start to look pretty damn good, not necessarily on the monthly, but on the weekly after that. So yeah, not bad. And we do have some phantom div about to be printed here, which I would say is probably even front runnable, and that will have a target of about 170 to 180 or so. Would look pretty damn good, yeah. Okay, cool. Mural Gandhi says, RIP to Hang Seng Index, daily, weekly, please. What is this, HSI? Is that right? Yes, that is right. Okay, nice. Oh, wow, powerful downside move. Jesus Christ, man, breaking down. Not joining the world markets here. Maybe they shouldn't have banned Bitcoin. No, I don't think that's the same thing. Daily in free fall. I'd be looking for this one to reach back down towards 25,000 probably over the next month. Yeah, this one's in kind of free fall. Long term, it's still technically an uptrend, I guess, on the monthly. Yeah, on the monthly, it's still an uptrend, but this one looks like it wants to play to the downside first. You're looking for 25, and then maybe some lows being put in around between 24 and 25. Okay, Aaron Depp says, Lord Commander, just regular Commander. How does AXS look? Looking to get into a longer term position. Okay, AXS is Axios, right? This is the one that was like super. Oh my god. Oh my fucking lord. Wow, that is impressive, man. Holy shit, that is impressive. How does it look like on what time frame? Looking to get into a longer term position. I mean, you're kind of chasing green dildos at this point, but if you are. Like if you're looking to get into a long-term position, you got enough trend here, which is good. But this one is, I would imagine this one's pretty extended. Yeah, starting to put in some bearish evidence right here. It's not quite there just yet. I think that this one probably does have another move to the upside before it does play out a bigger downside move in consolidation to the downside. Long-term, I'd be looking for long-term positions at about $10, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. I mean, that's, you know, if you truly are long-term, I mean, you might see that in like the next few months, but this one continues on to the upside first before that, man. This is very good. Short term, maybe back down to about 29.5 or so. But even that, like, I mean, even that, you know, I'd be looking for a bounce at about 29.5 to $30 and then see from there. This one would be a little bit too hot for me. Again, I'm not like a long-term person myself, but yeah, short term probably back down to about 29.5 or so. Probably bounces from there and then continues on with new highs. Long term, you know, maybe I'd look for a position at $10, like very, very long term, but I wouldn't stand by that, honestly. If you just said that you're looking for a trade short and medium term, I'd say this thing still looks up to me. I mean, the weekly is not bearish. The weekly is continuation by fucking definition. Imagine the monthly, same thing as well, man. This one's very likely to make new all-time highs in August. Very likely. Okay, cool. What else do we got? Sultanigus, what's up, man? Doggy above 29 cents. Then Moon. Let's see. Where's that doggy derp at? There it is. Fuck, man. Now with all this bullshit happening, I don't get to play my song. Maybe I just have to release it anyways. But now it's not going to make any sense. All of this done for nothing. Okay, so you said above 29 cents. So basically, how many? Above this high right here, 29 cents, or just a closing high above about 26.5. I don't know about Moon, but I'd be looking for a big move up towards 34 cent would be my next target, and then probably up to like 40 cents after that. I still wouldn't call like this one like making new all-time highs or anything like that. Yeah, man, we got close to 10 cents, but not quite there. Yeah, fair enough. You can definitely see a path forwards. Again, gonna really depend on what Bitcoin does here. I do think, but Bitcoin looking like I want to extend this right now. Okay, Brizzy B says, hey Krown, what's up, man? You selected the wrong stock when checking AGL. It's AGL Energy on ASX. Okay, sorry, apologies on that one. Okay, AGL Energy, you're saying. This one right here. Wow, even worse. Sir, you sure you want me to look at this one? I'll be looking for this one to come down to like $5. Terrible chart. Absolutely god-awful chart. Already kind of got your bounce off of the last major lows from early 2000s. This one's just in free fall, man. It really would not take too much to bounce from this area again and maybe get it back up to like 10 to $12. But long term, man, this thing very likely comes down to single digits, or it's already in single digits. Very likely comes down to like $5 or so. Terrible chart, just absolutely terrible chart. I'm just split on to whether I think this one tries to bounce from here first. Just a god awful chart though, man. Very, very bad. Quarterly is in free fall as well. I'm inclined to say maybe one more bounce here, back up to like low double digits, and then continue with the down, man. Terrible chart, absolutely terrible. It's Enrico Palazzo says, hey Krown, could you check out feeder cattle futures? Can you give me a ticker? Feeder cattle. Oh, there it is. All right, that was easier than expected. Very good. Hey, oh fuck, that means my beef is gonna cost more. Bastards, fucking bastards, man. I'm not entirely convinced how to play possible breakout. Thanks, man. Okay, so it depends what time frame you're at. You're looking at daily and weekly. All right, so daily. Do you have a breakout already? Yeah, pretty much, man. This one's ready. Monthly is very much ready. Weekly is also ready. Yeah, I mean, how do you play a breakout? Okay, well, in this case, I mean, you got several good things lining up right here. You've seen your accumulation. You're about to get a golden cross on the weekly. You know, you just need to know where your risk is, right? So your risk in this case, or at least for myself, would be last week's low, 154, and play the upside move from there. Short term, be looking at like 170, and then long term, I'd be looking at just under 200. It looks very good. It looks very good, man. Specifically on the higher term timeframes. Silver Trust 32 says, I have a long-term Bitcoin investment plan, 5 to 10 years. I'm ready to start working my way into the market, but do I take my first step now or wait for a pullback? Okay, so if you're 5 to 10 years down the road, it doesn't hurt to nibble into into like a short-term upturn right here. just get a little bit of skin in the game and feel like you're not missing out. But realistically, I'd have some major areas set out. So like I said earlier, while I do think that Bitcoin very likely does continue on into the mid 40s over the next, I don't know, month or whatever, I don't necessarily think that this is like the low just yet. I think we're probably going to spend some more time coming back down and basing off like the upper or mid $30,000 territory, and then that's probably where I'd be looking to nibble a little bit more. And maybe between then and now, I want to be like 30 to 50% in if I was thinking like that far down the road. Hold a little bit of dry ammo just in case we do drop at the lows, definitely possible. Or on the other side, you can always just buy into a confirmed reversal and a confirmed macro low after that. I'd be equally as happy with both of those propositions. But that's me personally if I was trading with those sort of biases. But to be quite honest with you, I do not. I do have some Bitcoin that I just hold no matter what, that I just don't touch. So I guess I'm always kind of holding Bitcoin, but I never really think of that. Like all of my trading profits since like mid 2018, I've just put into a ledger. I don't touch it at all. Just kind of leave it there. I hold it whether Bitcoin's going down from like 10,000 to 4,000 or whether it's going from 4,000 to 60,000. I barely even think about it actually. So it depends. It depends, but that's kind of how I'd play that position if I was looking to get in, like I suppose now. But let me take another sip of this water, man. My damn throat's starting to leave me. There we go. Much better. Much better. All right, let's get back to it. Robin Morris, what's up, man? Sire, I lost my copy of the Cave Cult Doctrine, but now I'm unsure of Bull Moon protocols. Am I supposed to dip my plums in the toaster and chant my nanos are waiting, or slam my junk in the car door? I would suggest definitely not doing the second one, because you will need your balls to combine with the bull balls in order to get this Bull Moon started to goddamn infinity. But if you are... If you are simply looking for the Bull Moon protocols, all you got to do is consult the witches of this world. And what do you know? We got our Bull Moon right around here. That's the only analysis that you need to know. Everything else is bullshit. Miguel says super chats are too short to provide full context. I know, man. I do know. It's not. It's certainly not perfect. I love the rants. Hey, man, I do appreciate that. Yeah, man, it's all good. I'm glad that we have a mutual understanding, Miguel. I just want to make sure that like people who might not be as familiar with me don't think that I'm like just fucking shitting on someone, right? Obviously we've known each other for a long time now, so there is that natural understanding, which is good. Nav Singh says, "How are you, Sir Krown?" Not bad, man. Not bad. Could do it with a better throat right now, but that's gonna be interpreted in terrible ways. Matic on the daily. Lower time frames. Thanks. Hey, man, appreciate that. All right, Maddox. So let's see how Maddox doing. That one was a very, very powerful one in the past cycle. And how's it doing in the last day? Actually, I want to measure this one out just to see. Yeah, 30. Oh, wow. 30% move right there. So very powerful. This one would be relatively strong, all things considered, on that last bounce. Short term, I would be looking for it to find its next sort of short term, medium term high somewhere around. Oh, I guess, Jesus Christ, man. This chart is way too convoluted. I probably have all time frames charted right there. I'd be looking for it to find its next sort of short term, medium term high somewhere between about 120 and 125 or so. Very likely consolidates a little bit there. Maybe even tags around the 55 after that, about 107, 110 region. And then I'd be looking for it to, assuming that Bitcoin continues on, you probably see the next level reclaimed right around about 160 long term. Weekly 10 symbol is going to be a natural target. Guess where that is? Right smack dab in the middle of those. So yeah, 125 is where I'd be looking for medium term. Very likely continuation on top of that. We do see potential hidden bullish evidence being confirmed right here too. I'd say that this is front runnable in this case. That's going to insinuate targets longer over the next month. Probably like 155, 160 or so. Would look pretty damn good. This one also, another very interesting altcoin that never entered into a weekly downtrend actually. So this one is relatively strong and having a great bounce thus far. So very, very impressive thus far. Very impressive, actually. Okay, already. I know you asked about daily and lower time frames, but I figured you probably would be more interested in that. Anyways, if you do want to look at the 4 hour, I mean, yeah, I think 116, 120-ish region. Maybe a little bit of pullback there, and then I'm basically bullish on this one, looking for continuation of the upside as long as you're above about $1. BK says, can you look at GHST versus Binance rug pull chain? All right. Wow. Holy moly. Wow. Powerful move right there. Not bad. I would be looking for this one to tag back up towards about 153, 150-ish region. You're looking at 4 hour weekly daily. Okay. That'd be my weekly daily. Same thing. Daily, more medium term, like 150. 4 hour. Same shit. 4 hours a little bit more tired, but that's okay. Could afford a short-term pullback here. Where'd my area be? Right around here. Actually, that is much lower, like 126, but it's generally gonna follow here, man. Generally good. Tony Sasa says, "Hey boss, can you check out AVA?" Sure. AAVE US derp. Okay, go to this one. Yeah, another another one that's looking for those prior range highs. 340. 340 is where I'd be looking towards. Let's delete this chart. We really only need a few points of interest right here. We're on a 4 hour. What time frame did you ask about? You did not ask about a time frame. Let's go to the daily. Yeah, short term. Very, very good here. Another bait and switch on a potential death cross. I mean, this is such a classic signal. These signals are like better on the fake out signals than they are not, in my opinion. Now, above this level right here, whether it's a closing high above, I'd even say like 320, like literally lower than where we're at right now on the daily, or a higher high above 354, just tick above there. I'd extend these targets significantly over the next couple of weeks to like 400, maybe even all the way up to like 415, 420. Great number there too. Emmy says, "Hi, Krown. Hello, sir. Please check Hex." All right, let's see what Hex has got. Haven't seen any Hexkins today, so what does that mean? Who knows? Oh no! Yeah, I stand by what I said the other day. I would still not say that this is like the all-time high, but I do think it's going to trade down from here, probably 10 cents next. Trade sideways for a while too. I don't think this one's going to be making new all-time highs for a little bit of time now. I think this one trades sideways for a while. If I do want to recall reversal on this one, it's not appropriate to do yet. The reversal will be called with any sort of a move below last week's low. Very likely this one's going to trade sideways for a while. Probably tag a little bit lower, like 10 cents, and then spend its time going sideways, and then we'll see later on. It did kind of have its event, so that would be a good catalyst for this sort of thing. Let's see, how far down is it thus far? Yeah, 40% or almost 40% right now. It got down to about 63.5% right there. Again, I don't really think I think at best this one goes sideways a little bit here, and then if it takes out last week's low, that's going to be the end for a while, in my opinion. Probably back down below. Well, probably back down to like what, 5 cents after that. But for now, give it the benefit of the doubt. I mean, it still hasn't done it just yet. Sideways. And then if it is going to pop back up, how do you know that it's still going to be bullish? I'd want to see like a daily closure above 16 cents. Even back above 15 cents would be okay. But for right now, man, this one does look like it wants to go lower. 2-day Jewel did give off a pretty damn good sell signal right there. The only thing that's missing is the auto fib is still green, so that would be a little bit of hopium on the other side. But yeah, man, I do think this one's extremely likely seeing the highs for now. Trade sideways for a while. Short term comes down to like 11 or 10 cents, and then we find out from there. This is looking like distribution right here, so people are selling into that right now. It looks like. So yeah, Mexicans are gonna hate me now. Look, man, I'm just calling it like I sees it. I did call most of the upside moves too, so don't hate me too much, sir. Anyways, El Toro says, "Good morning, sir. Thoughts about Cardano this week?" We already covered this one. Generally, I think it was good. Yeah, short term, medium term, still looking at like 146, 150-ish region. Anywhere above there, especially on like a daily closure, that's going to look really, really good for continuation of like 160, 170 region. One of the better ones. And why is my chart so fucking convoluted here? Did I chart out the 4 hour on this time frame too? Yeah, I did. No wonder, man. No fucking wonder. Oh well, whatever. It's generally whatever Bitcoin's going to do, most altcoins going to mirror, except apparently not Hex. Maybe those two are kind of obtuse to each other, although I wouldn't necessarily say that as well. I think Hex just does its own thing. It's completely it's probably like the least correlated asset in this market, in my opinion. El Toro says, "Good morning, sir. Thoughts about Cardano?" Oh wait, no, I already read that. Whoopsies. Paranoid says, my last time fib called it. I know, man. Hey, check this out. Major credit to Mr. Paranoid. Let me pull it up right here. It's not the moons, it's the time fibs. So a little bit less tea leaves right there. Let me just plot this on. Hey, no, don't do that. What are you doing? Oh, I must be on the wrong chart. There we go. No, that's not it either. God damn, man, I can't get anything right today. Hey, what is going on here? Is this the right chart? This is the right chart. Did I delete it? There's no way that I deleted it. That's ridiculous. Are you fucking kidding me? Did I delete this? Did I delete this? There's no way that I deleted it. Oh, well, whatever. I can just draw it again anyways. Let's do this right now. Where's my trend? No, I want time-based. Yeah. Here we go. What was it? It was like right here. Boom. There you go. Hey. No, this is wrong as well. This is wrong as well. Hold on, I need to use the other one. Boom, and it must be Fib time zone. Yeah, that's it. Okay, boom. Yeah, there it is. There she is. And I actually did it from like this breakout right there. Yeah, I mean, pretty much got the lows. So maybe the time zones are now going to correlate with. Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously, whatever it's doing, it's working. don't need to tell me anything other than that. I don't care why it works. I just care that it works. In that case, it's working. Nice one, man. Yeah, major credit to Paranoid for that one. I should retire now. So I'm never proven wrong or have to delete the next 100 tweets. There you go. That's a problem, man. You're only as good as your last call, so to speak. Jonathan K, me again, sir. How you doing, man? Sorry for hogging the chat. It's all good, man. Can you check out JUP? Sure. JUP, Jupiter Fund Management. Is it this thing, or I'm gonna guess it's this thing, or maybe it's Jupiter Wellness. I don't know. Let's see. We can check out. I'm gonna guess you're probably English if you're awake at this time. Sloppy chart, yes, but I do think that it will push through here. I mean, we do see a weekly reversal. We do see hidden bullish evidence on the weekly as well. A little bit of sideways, a little bit of upside. I'd probably be looking at a move towards 330 or so. Did you give a time frame on this one? No, you did not. No time frame. So I'm going to go to weekly and monthly. This one looks like a more long-term play. Yeah, this is a good low right here. I wouldn't necessarily call it like the all-time low. I do think it will trade up from here, and you'll probably, if this one does want to put in a high, you'll see it somewhere right around like 330 or so. Short term, yeah, it's just kind of trudging its way up. It's fine. Aaron Depp says last one for the night. All good, man. How does ramp look? Ramp DeFi. Okay, ramp. User is on the ramp. I guess Binance. Yeah, pretty good on the reverse right there. Definitely relatively weak, however, I would say. Not joining as much as the rest of the market, which is not the best sign, but as long as Bitcoin's continuing on with the party, this one will very likely join as well. Let's see, what time frame did you give? No time frame. Jesus Christ, man. I'd probably be looking at a move to the top side of this prior range, like 24, 25 cents or so, medium term. Again, assuming that Bitcoin continues here, which I think that it will. Above there, you got 35 cents as like a major target region. Sorry, not 35, 33 and a half. That is. Above there, things can get a little bit more wild up to this next area right here, about half a buck. Yeah, it looks good on the short-term reversal. I would be looking for a bit of consolidation, however, short-term around 24, 25 cents or so. That'd be what I'm looking for right there. Alrighty, sweet. What's up, Nimbo? There he is. How you doing, man? Holy shit, man. There's always a pullback, says Dread Mining. Yeah, I always do like to kind of mediate these talks by that. Like, it depends what time frame you're looking at, right? And there certainly will be pullbacks. I mean, keep in mind right now, Bitcoin still does not have a higher low. At some point, if this is going to continue on, which, I mean, obviously we have higher highs already, it's going to probably come back down, maybe somewhere around like 36 or 36.5, try for a higher low right there, and then that's going to be your real confirmation of like, okay, this is looking very good, and we very likely to get that move. But still a little bit further away from right now. It's just, it's naturally going to take time, right? The market can't happen all in one day. But a very good move off the lows right here. Very, very good move. Okay, sweet. Let's see. Do we want to do any last ones? Oh, man. Jorge Duarte says 39,000. Yep, we are at 39,000 bucks right now. Pretty damn powerful. Pretty damn nice move. Not bad to wake up to, sirs and zers. All right. Okay, we'll look at Vet for Joseph Valkov, and then we'll call it a day because my throat's starting to kill me. We've already been on here for like 2 hours. Jeez, man. All right, we've already looked at XRP Mario. Let's see, VeChain right here. We haven't looked at this one. You already kind of tagged around the prior highs. This one actually a little bit on the relatively strong side, I imagine, for the last move. Yeah, 30% move right there too, similar to Matic. I would be looking for a pullback after that level's hit, which it already has been. Anywhere down to like 8.5 cents is fair game. I don't have a strong bias on that. My strong bias is on the next move. If you see any sort of a closure at all above 9.14 cent, or just a higher high on a wick basis above whatever this was right here, I look for a general continuation over the next few weeks to like 11 or 12 cents, somewhere right around there is where I'd be looking towards. But for right now, a little bit of short-term sideways, a little bit of short-term perhaps downside, but I do think this one's going to join the rest of the market. I mean, this one's had a pretty damn good response thus far. And it looks like did Bitcoin actually reject this move? Is this what you'd be looking for? It's getting close, definitely getting close there. I still wouldn't call it either which way. It's too early way too early to do that. But maybe we can look at momentum oscillators now and see where they're positioned at. There we go. Let's go down to an hourly perhaps. This one's probably gonna get most things relatively well. What are we showing? 38.8 actually. No, pressure is still onto the upside if we close right around here. 4 hour says what? 39.1, 39.2, but we still got another hour left to go on that one. Yeah, I still wouldn't call it just yet, whether it's continuation or pull back to 36.5 first. Either is completely fine for me right here. I would my interpretation of 36.5 or 36,000 bucks even is still the same. Okay, cool. All right, I think that's going to be it. The Adventures of Galactic Traveler says, Bull Moon, smash the likes. It would be very much appreciated. You do not have to do it, of course, as well. But it's been an absolute pleasure, my friends. Really, really good day and very exciting to see something different happen within this market. Again, just kind of wrapping up my thoughts on Bitcoin. I would very likely be looking for a continuation of the 40,000 bucks, but the question is, do we play out a little bit of sideways and down first? I think it's rather likely, yes. If we put on our drawing tools right here, I'd be looking anywhere around 36.5 to 36,000 bucks for a higher low on perhaps a 12 hour in this case. And then I'd be looking at two things to judge general continuation into our next $40,000 targets. The big one would be daily closure above the 200 exponential average right here, which is 38.5. Or, and equally as powerful, in fact, I'd even like this a little bit more, would be a daily closure above the topside Toronto band, which is currently about 36.5, 37,000 bucks. Anywhere around there is clearly fine. Do I think that we can tag back down around that region? Yes, but I would be looking at that as a major opportunity before continuation into the mid 40s. Fill the gap on CME somewhere right around 45 to 48,000 bucks over the next month or so, and then see where we come out from there. So with all of that said, I do want to wish everyone the best. It's been an absolute pleasure on this lovely little Monday. We'll be back on tomorrow doing the same thing, same time, same place. Perhaps even a shorts video today once we have kind of some next piece of the puzzle in that kind of gives us a bias onto whether we look for a general continuation first or a pullback first. And with that said, I want to wish you well. Take care. I salute you and see you hopefully very soon.
Write it, code it, name it, tweet it, mine it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it, and receive it. Trade it, buy it, sell it, store it, run it, list it, first rename it. Crypto logic. Pump it, hack it, lose it, dump it, sell it, ditch it, XR, pitch it, copy, paste it, nudge it, test it,